Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Now, in my 20 plus years experience in cybersecurity, I must have interviewed over 1,000 candidates. Everybody from junior cybersecurity analysts to like CISO level positions. And all of them, they had certain things which made them stand apart and proceed to the next stage, as opposed to the other people who did not proceed and who could not like pass that cybersecurity interview. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about what are the things you can do and what are the things you should avoid doing in a cybersecurity interview to make yourself successful. Because remember, the cybersecurity interview is easily the most important part of landing a job, right? All the work that you've done, you from your certification, from polishing your CV, from polishing your LinkedIn, all of that is leading up to the cybersecurity interview. And if you are not able to make a good impression in those minutes or hours, then all of it will go to waste. So that's why it's so important to get that cybersecurity interview right. And that's what we're going to be focusing on in this interview. If you're new here to this channel, my name is Tamuruj Lal. I'm a senior security consultant with Amazon Web Services, and I made this channel to give advice on, general cybersecurity career advice, AI, cloud security. So if you're interested, please do like and subscribe to this channel, and let's get started. So what am I talking about here? Now, cybersecurity interviews, I know they can be very nerve-wracking. People get nervous and you stumble. But if you practice and you apply these tips, I can assure you that they will become very, very easy. One of the key mistakes that people make, they just focus on or they prep for the technical part and they do not think about their own personality, how they have to present themselves, and what are the things they absolutely have to avoid. Now, all of these things, which I'm going to be talking about, these are things which I have seen people doing. And what are the good and the like negative things you have to be avoiding? So let's take a look. So first of all, very, very important, the mistakes to avoid. These are the things you absolutely should not be doing, and they can seriously mess up your chances of landing that job because they will create a very negative impression in front of the interviewer. So these are the first of all, I want to talk about the things you absolutely should be avoiding. The first thing is bluffing. Please do not bluff, which is lying about what you have done. The person taking the interview, he's not stupid. He will catch you out. I knew a guy. We were interviewing him as part of a panel, and he started talking about the SIM solution he had implemented, and he talked about it at a very high level. We dug deep and we asked him some technical questions around that, and he could not answer because he had not implemented it. He was just bluffing about it. So you can imagine this created like a very negative impression about that person, right? And this is something you absolutely have to avoid. If you do not know something, like supposing a person asks you about, say, Kubernetes security, right? He asks you, hey, have you implemented security in Kubernetes? If you do not know, just be honest about it. You can tell him what you've done. Say, maybe I have implemented security in containerized environments, but no, I have not dedicated worked on Kubernetes. Be honest about it. And if they're a good interviewer, they will appreciate the fact that you are honest, okay, and they will not call you out on it, okay, as opposed to you lie about it and you get caught, and I can assure you that will destroy your chances of landing the job. Please always be honest about what you know, and more importantly about what you do not know. Okay, always be honest about it. See, I don't know this, but I'm happy to learn this. And if they're a good interviewer, believe me, they will appreciate this. The second thing is exaggerating, which is like the cousin of bluffing. It's very strongly related to this, which is that you are exaggerating what you have done. You haven't really done it, but you're just showing it off in a much higher way. Like, we met a guy and he said, I have implemented the cybersecurity department from scratch. Like, it was all me. I did everything from this junior position to the CISO level jobs and everything. And we immediately knew this guy is just bluffing. He's just exaggerating. He hasn't really done this. He most assuredly he was important, but he was just exaggerating his own achievements. The cybersecurity job market is very small. Believe me, people know each other. People can easily call up and ask and find out whether you have actually done these things or not. So bluffing and exaggerating. Okay, these are two very closely related. So try and avoid these at all costs. Again, be honest about it. Okay, maybe you have not set up the cybersecurity department from scratch, but you can be honest about it. Say, I've done these things, but I had a team helping me out, or I was reporting to this person, or I was part of this team. But this was the role that I played, and I'll show you about that, how to like show your achievements in a proper format, which people can understand and appreciate. So again, bluffing and exaggerating. The third thing is, which is very, very like commonly missed out, not asking about a company. If you do not ask about the company, it makes it look like either you are desperate for landing a job or you're not interested. So either way, it can sometimes cause a negative impression in front of the interviewer. Do ask about the company, ask about the culture, ask how the cybersecurity department fits, where does it report to, what are the key things, what are your priorities. Like you can ask where does threat modeling fit within your security strategy? How have you structured cybersecurity? What sort of tools and solutions are you using? How does a particular person work? Ask these questions so that they get that impression. Okay, this is guy is actually interested about this company. Research the company beforehand. So again, this is something which misses out. And last and most important, which is like failing at behavioral questions. I can't believe like this is something very, very important. Like I said before, a key mistake which people make is what they do is they prep only for the technical questions. Now, technical questions will test what you know, right? People will be asking you about SIM solutions or DLP or cloud security. Okay, these are technical questions. Okay, but and they test what you know. Behavioral questions test who you are. How do you perform with other people? How do you perform in high pressure environments? Where have you failed at? Anybody can say, if you ask a question, what is your greatest achievement? People have that memorized, right? If people ask, okay, what are the things at which you failed at? Sometimes that throws people off. They do not know how to respond to these sort of questions. So this is very, very important. But I'm going to show you also how you can prepare for behavioral questions. So this is very, very important. And this has now become a key part of most cybersecurity interviews, because CISOs and hiring managers, they want to see what sort of person this is which I'm interviewing. So how to answer questions correctly, whether it is technical or behavioral, there are a few things you can do. And the most important and easy way to answer questions correctly in cybersecurity interviews is use the STAR method. Now, the STAR method is a very, very common methodology that people use for answering questions, answering cybersecurity questions, be it or honestly any field. But this is situation, task, action, result. So situation is what is the background of the scenario, right? What happened? What was the situation? Task is what is the challenge? What was the thing you had to do? Action, what are the steps you took? And result. Every question you answer in a cybersecurity interview, always make it focused around this, because this will prevent you from going off topic. This will always keep you focused on what you have to answer, be it a behavioral question or a technical question. So let's take take a few examples also, a few sample questions which you can use to practice and get better at this. Okay, so what am I talking about? Interview question one. So these all of these are actual questions which I've seen people being asked. So tell me about a time you had to respond to a security incident. So here the person wants to know what you did. Okay, they do not want to know about a technical a solution that you implemented. They are specifically asking about a time you had to focus on a security incident. So what is the situation? We detected, for example, unusual traffic patterns in SIM. So there was a potential breach. What was the task, the challenge that you had? As the incident response lead, I had to identify the source, of course, and contain it, and then prevent further impact. Right. So this was the situation. This was the task. Action. So what are the steps that you took? I coordinated with the team to analyze logs, isolate affected systems, implement our incident response plan, and I work with the stakeholders to create the reports, give reports to management, give reports to customers. And what was the result? We contained the breach within 3 hours, preventing data loss and reducing recovery time by 40%. So this is how you see how logically it flows and how it keeps you focused, right? What was the situation? What was the task? What is the action I took? And what is the result? So anybody asks you any question, right? What were the key challenges that you faced? What was the tool that you implemented? What is the crisis that you've overcome? All of these you can focus with the STAR methodology. So another interview example. Can you describe a time when you had to advocate for a cybersecurity initiative, like a new initiative you had to take on? How did you go about doing it? So what would the situation be in this case? Our company, maybe they did not have an EDR solution, and this was making our desktops, laptops, all of them vulnerable. So what was the task? I had to get leadership support, approval, maybe get the budgeting to implement an EDR solution. So what was the action you took? I prepared a business case by preventing incident data, showing the potential loss that will happen from a security breach, and showing the return of investment of adopting an EDR. What was the result? The leadership approved the project, which reduced endpoint incidents by 50% within the first 6 months. So you see how beautifully it flows, how it shows the interviewer, okay, this was the problem, this is how you solved it, and these were the results. So always keep this in mind. And last, one more. Tell me about a time you improved security awareness in your company. So, what would be the situation? Phishing emails were causing repeated incidents. A lot of people were getting phished. This was impacting productivity. And your goal was to design a training program to reduce phishing related risks. What was the action? I developed hands-on workshops, simulated phishing campaigns, and then implemented a reward system for identifying threats. What was the result? Phishing decreased by 60% within 3 months, improving overall security posture. So I hope you saw the beauty and the benefit of implementing like the star result when you are answering questions. Keep this focus like this, practice with other questions like this, and you will get you will see that confidence building up. Okay, practice with a friend, practice in front of a mirror, and you won't be like stumbling over yourself when you are answering these sort of questions. The star forces you to focus on a very particular methodology. Now, I don't want to keep this video too long. So what I have done is it's just a free gift for you. I have written a book on this completely free. I don't make any money from it. So this is about cybersecurity interviews, both the technical questions and the behavioral questions. So I'm going to put the link there. It's completely free. And what this book also has is that it has a few chat GPT prompts also to help you prepare for interviews, prepare for technical questions, prepare for behavioral questions. I believe it's a very good resource. This will really help you to prepare for any interviews that you might be coming up. So I hope this was useful to you, and I hope I showed you what are the things you have to do and what are the things you should be avoiding at all costs. Please do like and subscribe to this channel if you found this video useful. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.